I kind of like how you said there was the movement and the mainstream movement. I think that puts it perfectly. Where does it go from here? Like, once you go mainstream, what happens next?
So I think it also goes back again to people are getting fatigued. People are getting tired. And I think the people who are getting fatigued and tired are the people who aren't actually affected by it. And so I think that you still have where now you have the mainstream kind of main voices who are a lot of actresses. You have people who are creating the Time's Up Fund, a legal defense fund to kind of help empower working class women who've experienced abuse. You have these kinds of things. So now it's like they're kind of trying to play catch up and like, oh yeah, let's empower factory workers and let's empower these working class women and low income women, and almost trying to play catch up instead of that having been the initial target for this. And I think another interesting point is like you had so many, like millions of people kind of participating in the initial hashtag and kind of even without necessarily giving too much detail, just saying, hey, I'm like, I feel that, like that happened to me, and in recognition of that. But what we don't know is like really data on like how many people actually went and reported because of this. So there are some things that's like, what really is the main target of this movement now?
Is it possible that the movement got too big? That it veered so far off path from what the founder wanted it to do, that now we have so many different goals that can we accomplish them all? You know, or did we try to put too many things under one umbrella?
Well, I think when you talk about abuse and you talk about gender-based violence, it's so massive and it's so over-encompassing that it's such a relatable thing, especially for women in our country and women around the world, that I think it's well-intentioned to bring these people together and to have this conversation. But again, I think there are still these disparities where it's like, okay, well, if you are someone in a level of privilege coming forward, your experience doing that is going to be a lot different than other people. Right. Yeah, maybe there does need to be some split off in the movement for kind of making sure people in marginalized communities are being heard and empowered to be able to tell their story in a different way. But when it comes to the media, like, they're obviously going to cover people who are famous.
So it's something that was presented as a social issue, but you're saying it's also very much so another type of issue, which was what?
Yeah, so I think that if we were to view systematic oppression, if we were to view gender-based violence as a public health issue, because it really is, it affects people's health and their well-being, that maybe there would be more of a aggression in tackling the issue. If we do start kind of framing this like it is almost a disease in a sense because it's so widespread, it's like it's an epidemic basically.
That's an interesting way to put it. I've never heard it like that. And it does, you kind of think about it in a different way when you hear it that way.